Hey guys, this is Stacy from eatthebite.com, and today I'm making this little potato salad with olives, capers, and asparagus. To our boiled little yellow potatoes, we're going to add some sauteed asparagus, chopped green olives, scallions, hard-boiled egg. We'll add a few capers in there, some thinly sliced red onion, which is optional, a fantastic champagne vinaigrette that is super easy to make, and a little bit of chopped parsley. We're going to give that a mix and you're done. This is a fantastic option for a no mayonnaise potato salad. It's really delicious. So let me show you how to make it. We'll start by making the vinaigrette. I'm using half of a small clove of garlic for this, and I usually start by slicing the garlic into thin rounds, and then I'm going to mince it down further from there. I'm going to be throwing all of my ingredients into a mason jar. You can use whatever jar you have on hand if you don't have a mason. So after we put the garlic in there, we're going to chop some fresh rosemary. Just gently pull the leaves from the sprigs and then dice it down nice and fine. I'm going to add that into the mason jar as well. Next up, we'll add some Dijon mustard, extra virgin olive oil, and I've got this nice little bottle of champagne vinegar, which you can find in the oil and vinegar aisle at your local grocery store. So we'll go ahead and add that to the jar, then a little bit of salt and pepper. Now we're going to put the lid on the jar and we're going to give it a shake until everything is well combined. You do want to make sure you give it a taste here and adjust the seasoning to your preference. If you want more garlic, add more garlic. You want more mustard, add more mustard. You get it. I've got this 1.5 pound bag of little yellow potatoes, and all we're doing here is cutting these in half and putting them in a big pot of water. Start to finish, it should take about 20 to 25 minutes to get these cooked and nice and soft. So I'll move those over to my stovetop and start cooking. I've got a bunch of asparagus here, but we actually only need about half of it. And the first thing I do is I usually cut off those light ends first because they're kind of bitter. And then all we have to do is chop down the asparagus into bite-sized pieces. Then we'll transfer that to a large pan. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt to this and set it aside for now. I'm using these delicious pitted Castelvetrano olives for this recipe. I measured out 1 cup of olives, and now I'm going to chop them a bit, smash them down a bit with the side of my knife, and then once they've been smashed and cut to your liking, we'll set them aside in a small ramekin. I had some chopped parsley already on hand for this, and this is optional, so I'll set that aside for a minute. Next up, just take 2 or 3 large scallions, and we're going to chop those down, set them aside. I've got 1 hard-boiled egg here, so plan your time and just cook that off to the side while you're doing other prep work. So now, we have our champagne vinaigrette, chopped olives, parsley, scallion, and egg. My potatoes are simmering in a pot and almost at a boil, and it's time to cook the asparagus. All we're doing is sauteing on medium to high heat. I do like to get a little char in my asparagus, and this only takes about 5 to 7 minutes to get this cooked al dente. I'm going to roll my boiled egg on the cutting board to break up the shell a bit, and then all you really have to do is just carefully peel it off. Then once the shell is off, we are going to cut the egg in half down the center like you see here, and then just chop it down into small pieces. And this recipe could hold another egg, so if you want it a little eggier, just use 2 hard-boiled eggs. Then we're just going to put those in a little bowl and set them aside. Because now it is time to assemble our salad. When I drained the potatoes, I ran them under cold water to cool them down a bit and to stop the cooking process. They should only be slightly warm when you start the assembly. So I put a cup or 2 of the cooked potatoes in a bowl and I smashed them down a bit with my potato smasher. You can use a fork if you don't have one. Then add the rest of the potatoes in there and give it a quick stir. And now we are ready to add the asparagus, chopped olives, our scallions, the chopped hard-boiled egg. We'll toss in a few capers there as well, some thinly sliced red onion, that's optional, and I'm going to give that champagne vinaigrette a good shake and then I'll spoon it over the salad. I added about 1/4 cup total, and you can add more if you want. Then we're going to sprinkle a little parsley on there, that's optional, and dill could work too as well. Then we'll toss everything together until it's well coated and we're done. There are some salty components in the salad itself, and that might be enough salt for you. But for me, I did go ahead and add a little more salt and pepper, gave it 1 final stir, and it's ready to serve. And I recommend serving this warm right after it's made or at room temperature. I hope you give this one a try. It's a really great option for a potato salad that doesn't contain mayonnaise, and you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.